News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset, y'all. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Continuing on, why do you think President Biden dropped out? Why do you think Obama is endorsing Kamala shortly, according to NBC News? But here's a new thing I want to add in. I know. Let's play a little Kamala still. Show how radical left California, San Francisco liberal she is.
We've got to critically re-examine ICE. Probably think about starting from scratch. I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass a Green New Deal. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
Would you support changing the dietary guidelines?
Yes.
To reduce red meat specifically?
Yes, I would.
Ouch, huh? Now, and of course, GovTrack said that Kamala Harris was the most liberal U.S. senator, more so than Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. They also said she blew off 61% of Senate votes, and she never co-sponsored a bill with somebody from the Republican Party, and she sponsored the Green New Deal, and co-sponsored that with, I believe, Sanders or AOC. No, Sanders. And so many different things. Of course, GovTrack is being good liberal fake news. 5 years after they reported that, they're deleting it. They just deleted the page. The link is gone, but we got it screen grabbed. Everybody has it screen grabbed. But some people are labeling, some in the Republican Party are labeling Kamala, saying she's a DEI hire. Do you agree with that? And do you think it's a good idea? You know, why would you think it's a good idea or a bad idea for Republicans to make this allegation that Kamala is a DEI hire? I think it's a bad look. I think it's true, but it looks very bad. It's a deeply personal thing that some who are black or other people of color may get seriously offended. I'm not politically correct in any way, shape, or form. You know that. But some people will take it personally. And it's like, you know, it makes people feel like you don't belong in there because of the color of your skin. And she was hired only, like Biden said, he's going to put a black woman in there before he even picked anybody. And that's literally the definition of DEI hire. But some are saying that she's a DEI hire. Do you agree? And why do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea for Republicans to make when she says it's DEI hire, good or bad look? I think it's a horrible look. And how do you think Republicans should attack her? How should they attack her? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I know exactly how to attack her. Everything that she says publicly up until she's running for president is exactly what you should do. Number one, you are one of the people that purposely lied to us. You covered up Joe Biden's mental infirmities. You were never got one vote to be the president and nor to be the candidate. You were installed by rich people. The people that are poor, middle class in America have put me in this position to be the nominee. You've not got one vote. I've got millions. And you want to take away guns with a gun buyback program. You want to make illegal immigrants legal. No crime. You want to give them free health care. You want to take away our health care and make it a single-payer government health care run health care in the country. You've said that many times. You want to ban fossil fuels by 2030. You've said that. You want to ban offshore fracking. You want to ban fracking immediately. You want to ban offshore drilling immediately. I mean, it goes on and on and on. It's incredible what this woman wants. And now she's going to pretend like she doesn't. But the good thing is we have records of her for like 20 years saying this stuff. Okay, we have three lines open for the first time tonight. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. Let's go to... let's go to Jerry in Garland first, right? Okay, Jerry in Garland. What's up, WBAP?
Thank you for taking my call. You stole a lot of my thunder.
I apologize. I apologize.
No. I mean, I'm glad I'm as almost as articulate as you. I was reciting some of that to my wife tonight over dinner. One thing that I wanted to mention, though, is Well, no, I don't think it's a good idea that they even bring up the DEI.
I agree.
You should be an advisor for former President Trump, because a lot of things you said I totally agree with, and I don't have the power you do, obviously. But we often forget that everything you mentioned is a lot of former President Obama's platform, just about everything. And she's taken up the torch from President Obama, Susan Rice, and George Soros. Those are the three puppeteers, I feel. I stand to be corrected.
Say it again. Which three?
I feel it's former President Obama, Susan Rice, and George Soros. The three of them are all basically individuals that hate this country. We don't remember what President Obama said in one of his when he was addressing his supporters. We are 5 days away. This is before he was inaugurated. Mm-hmm. We are five days away from transforming the United States of America.
Yeah.
So it's been slow but sure.
Slow but sure. Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
You boil a frog in water by going up slowly. You don't just throw them in the hot water, right?
Correct.
Although I don't know if the frog can get out of the hot water once you throw it there, but I don't think the frog or I want to find out. I don't want. Yeah, no. Thanks for your great call, Jerry. Keep it up, brother. Okay, let's go to Jason in North Richland Hills. Jason, what's up, WBAP?
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
Good evening. So, absolutely, that's what this is all about. I mean, that's what everything's about. I mean, as a Caucasian male, believe me, I'm feeling the division of what's going on with this regime, with Biden, Obama, who's still, by the way, running the show,
yes,
as we all know. But, again, this is a scenario where, look, the Democrats have conceded. They know they can't win. They're going to leave her in there so she can take the fall and get her out of the way.
You know what, though? Let me tell you something. We need to know the truth. And the truth is about this is two polls, Reuters reporting today from the news that came out today, two polls showing Harris doing better than Biden against Trump. And the reality is we don't know. And Trump is his own worst enemy. He's the one that can steal victory away from the victory away from the jaws of steal defeat away from the jaws of victory. One poll is Emerson College, The Hill. The other one is New York Times, Siena. The polls. Here we go. The Emerson College, Emerson College, The Hill. Arizona 49-44, Trump leads. Georgia 48-46, Trump leads. That's way tighter than it used to be. Michigan 46-45, Pennsylvania 48-46. Trump Harris tied in Wisconsin. And the other one today, okay, and then the other one is New York Times, Siena. She's doing better than Biden against Trump. He only leads Harris by 2, and registered voter. See, that's the truth. Trump topped Biden by 8 in the previous one. So Reuters Ipsos poll Tuesday, Harris 42 over Trump. Real Clear Politics, last little thing, is they have the average of polls. And right now it's Trump up by 1.9 nationally. So
on the popular vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, on the... I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, right. My thing is that's fine. And look, I want to keep it tight. I want the people to continue to drive and grind this thing out because we have to win this.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a landslide bigger than people think. I think it's going to be like 1980. I think it's going to be when Reagan took over, and it's going to be huge.
I hope so, but I'm telling you, we have a good chance of getting destroyed in this by a few points. The only way, in my opinion, they can win is if Merchant comes in and says you're going to go to jail or something crazy like that happens. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Right? He does that, Trump will get elected. If you put him in jail, the country did not like that. His polls went way up after that. The country did not like him, even if they can't stand him. Do not like any politician being thrown in jail because of their views. Appreciate your great call. Keep it up. We got 3 lines open. Dustin in Bridgeport and John in Prosper. You guys are next. Our number is 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. My buddy and columnist, very popular conservative columnist who Rush quoted all the time for years before he passed away, talks about the DEI Harris allegations by some. And I'm asking, some are saying that she's a DEI hire. Do you agree? Why do you think it's good or bad idea for Republicans to say they're calling Kamala a DEI hire? And how do you think Republicans should attack her? It should not be that. I can tell you that. All that's coming up next. Chris Kroc Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. 3 lines open, 800-288 WBAP.
what I saw depicted about those individuals on horseback treating human beings the way they were is horrible. And I fully support what is happening right now, which is a thorough investigation into exactly what is going on there. But human beings should never be treated that way. And I'm deeply troubled about it. And I'll also be talking with Secretary Mayorkas today.
Kamala lied when she said the horseback Border Patrol officers were abusive. She even made horrifying remarks about slavery, tying it to that, and it was all a lie. Mayorkas knew it. He was told to say it even when he first said the agents did a great job. And the Democrats, Joe Biden and Kamala and Mayorkas, they told Mayorkas to lie. They all lied and said those horseback riders have been banned under the Biden administration for doing their jobs perfectly and wonderfully. They want those illegals to invade. That's why she said publicly in one of the debates that she wants no illegals to ever be illegal. She wants them to be legal to just cross the border and come here and feast on us. She does not want them to have to pay for health care ever. And she doesn't want any of us to pay for health care except through high taxes and long months and months and months or longer waits. Like in Canada, where you're on a waiting list to get a basic thing that you have to get, like now. People from Canada that have money come here to get their health care because we don't have long government lines. But she wants that here. She wants the disaster of the NIH in Britain, the NHI, the National Health Institute, I think it is. I can't remember what they're called. They're government insurance, healthcare, and everything. Okay, my friend Eric Erickson, and the questions I'm asking you are, some are saying Kamala is a DEI hire. Do you agree? Why do you think it's good or bad for Republicans to say that Kamala is a DEI hire? I think it's horrible. I think it's stupid. And I'll tell you why. My friend Eric Erickson made a great point in his column today. And how do you think Republicans should attack her? All about her record. That's it. Here we go. Eric writes this. Then we're going to go to Dustin and Jim. Coming up next, we got 3 lines open: 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Erickson writes, Black women and younger black men have often voiced criticisms of Harris. In the opinion of black focus group participants, Harris has not lived what they see as the black experience. The daughter of Jamaican immigrant father and Indian immigrant mother, Harris is the epitome of the American dream and melting pot, but her father's family descends from a line of slave owners in Jamaica. She grew up in progressive politics in Oakland, California. Her father was a Marxist economics professor, and her mother was a biologist and cancer researcher. He says when white Republicans call Kamala Harris a DEI hire, black voters get defensive. I agree, and they should, because it's attacking them personally. There was 2 Republicans that said that, and they're idiots. They're absolute idiots. They're going to cost us points on the board. It really is stupidity. Attack her freaking record, you morons. Attacking Harris is a DEI pick, Erickson writes. True or not, draws black voters drifting away from the Democrats back in to take up defensive positions around Harris. Also, one more quick thing on this. Harris, in an NBC interview, said, let's just face it, there's a lot of sexist... Well, actually, this is... hold on. One of the people familiar with the campaign's thinking told NBC News, quote, let's just face it, there's a lot of sexist, racist white dudes out there in America who don't like Trump, but just need a little extra validation. And bringing one of the people mentioned, Kelly, Senator Kelly, Governor Shapiro, Governor Bashir, and Governor Cooper onto the ticket helps validate her among those constituents. All right, those are some of the things to share. Now we go to you at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. Let's go to Dustin in Bridgeport. Dustin, WBAP.
Hey, Chris. How's it going, man? Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk to you about the DEI thing. I agree with you. I think the rhetoric is only going to hurt us. I don't think that they need to push that because you're right. It does disenfranchise a lot of people out there. But I wanted to bring up the point that the gentleman on before you that's hosting for Mark Levin played a clip.
The great one!
The great one!
Oh, sorry. The great one! Mr. Producer, you big dummy!
Right. Well, he played a clip of Biden himself saying diversity, equity, and inclusion is a big part of his campaign and a big part of his cabinet, and it starts with his vice president.
Right.
Those words straight up came out of his mouth. So that's where I think that they're getting a lot of that is from Biden saying it himself. But I agree with you. You can't just, you got to play on the facts. You got to put facts out there. You got to play on all of her records, just like you said, but you cannot play on that DEI. Or
Yes, and didn't Biden say he's going to nominate a black woman for his vice president before he picked one?
Absolutely, and he's the most racist person you've ever met.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. From all the things he's said over the years and all the positions he's taken, no one locked up more black men than he did with that crime bill, and he called them super predators. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I cannot fathom how people can have the wool pulled over their eyes over the last 4 years of everything they've said against Kamala and all of it, and then all of a sudden to flip the script.
Fantastic calls, Jim. Keep it up, bro. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Justin. Hold on. Let me try that again. Dustin in Bridgeport, you are on WBAP.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right. Is he serious?
What?
Are you serious? Are you going to say, are you See, I always say that to I was like, what the heck are people? Thank you. And they just sit there. Now, are you joking? You actually have something to say?
No, sir. No, sir. I'm done. I made my point. I could go on for hours.
Wait, did you just talk to me? Oh, I hung up on the wrong guy. I thought you were my last. I switched. I messed. Okay, bye, brother. Oh, what's wrong with me? The other gentleman's not there anymore. I bet you. Here, let me see. Gosh darn it. Yeah, I messed up. I'm sorry. We had another caller on hold, and I hung up on him by accident. I thought he was Dustin and vice versa. You know, I don't have dyslexia, but I might as well tonight. I apologize to that gentleman, and let me know if he calls back, and we'll put him right on. I apologize. All right, 4 lines open. 800-288. No thanks to me. 800-288-WBAP. 800-288-9227. Again, sorry to that last caller for hanging up on you by accident. My fault. My bad. All right, coming up next. Also, we're going to add something else. Kamala, border czar or not? Border czar or not? I cannot wait to get into that with you. You can hear so much audio, new stuff I haven't shared with you yet that's like over the top. Democrats and media lying to you for years, saying telling you the truth that she's a border czar, saying those words, and that she's in charge of the border, period, and immigration, period, and now saying, no, it never happened. It's insane, but it's who they are. Memory hole, as my buddy said today. Everything's put down the memory hole. You forget it 2 days later, a day later, all gone. No problem. All that is next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP and now on FM at 93.3. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. We got 3 lines open on the Chris Crock Show. Let's see here. Border czar. I love this one. There's so much on this. Let's play a little of that. Then we go to your call at 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Why do you think it's a good or bad idea about Republicans when they say, that Kamala's DEI hire? Some say that. Do you agree? I think it's a bad decision to do that, though. I think the issues are what matters. Then the border czar. We add this right now. Is Kamala the border czar or not, What makes you think that Biden made Kamala the border czar? That's my question on that. If I was Dwayne, I would say it that way. What makes you think that Biden made Kamala the border czar? Why do you think the media and Democrats are completely gaslighting us on Kamala being in charge of the border? And why would people, what would lead people to think the media did the same with Joe Biden's cognitive impairment? All right, gaslighting. What makes you think Biden and Kamala made Biden the Kamala border czar? What do you think? Why do you think the media and Democrats are completely gaslighting us on Kamala being in charge of the border? And what would lead people to think the media did the same with Biden's cognitive impairment? Well, let's start with the border czar thing, okay? Before we go to your call at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. I got some nice, fresh border czar.
This will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
She is now the point person on immigration. Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar, hasn't gone there at all.
She's supposed to be the border czar.
He's putting his vice president, Kamala Harris, in charge of this.
The unofficial border czar. There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. She was the border czar.
Well, there you go. It's obvious that she was and is the border czar, and they called it. All the liberal media said that. And then today they tell us, nope. You know, Axios, the liberal news site Axios, literally labeled her. It's on my Twitter feed. You can see it. Don't ever stop following me on Twitter. And if you aren't following me, get on there. What's wrong with you? You're missing everything I play on the air is on my Twitter feed and all the things I talk about. At Chris Crock Show. That's at Chris Crock Show. ChrisKrok on Twitter and on Instagram and on Facebook. Okay, hop on. They all have the same handle, at Chris Crock Show. Okay, Axios in 2021 correctly labeled Kamala Harris literally in their headline, she is the border czar. When Peter Savadnik from the Financial Press asked Mike Allen, Axios' executive editor, why they all of a sudden deleted that headline and they put up that it was false. They put today Axios, literally, guys, 3.5 years later, Axios was among the news outlets that incorrectly labeled Harris a border czar in 2021. What news site goes back from 3.5 years ago and changes what they have 3.5 years later? The day after she is being criticized as the border czar and they want her to win. When I asked Mike Allen, Axios executive director, he texted me back, says Peter Savadnik on the Financial Press website today on a blog or his story. He texted me back, I'm sure there will be continuing conversation on this. He didn't answer the question. Time, USA Today, CBS, New York Times suddenly changed their story today and they say she's not the border czar. However, in 2021, the New York Times said Harris will soon be taking over the work for a departing official with years of experience. Roberta S. Jackson, former ambassador, chosen as Biden's border czar, the New York Times says she would retire from government. She says she was happy to see Kamala Harris assume the work of stemming migration from Central America. She took over for Roberta, who is the border czar, according to the New York Times, in 2021. Yet today they say, oh, she was never the border czar. Washington Post in 2021, who also says she's not the border czar now, described the vice president as taking on the lead role in the overall border and regional issue. So I got this from the great publication. What is it? I can't remember which one it was. I've got it on my Twitter feed, but they showed a definition of border czar. Oh, it's the Free Beacon, Washington Free Beacon. And they put in that headline, this is on my Twitter feed, don't say czar. Kamala was Biden's point person on immigration until she became the presumptive nominee. Okay, what is a czar? One of the definitions of czar is noun, any person exercising great authority or power in a particular field. Quote, a czar of industry. She is the czar of a border, as the New York Times, Washington Post, CBS News, and MSNBC twice, and CNN twice all called her the border czar. Today she is not, because she took over for Biden, because the media wants her to win. My questions again, what makes you think Biden made Kamala the border czar? Why do you think the media and Democrats are completely gaslighting us on Kamala being in charge of the border? And what would lead people to think the media did the same thing with Biden's cognitive impairment? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Let us go now. Let's see here. Let's go to Mike in Rowlett. Mike, you're on WBAP.
Hey, Chris.
Hello. Hello, Governor.
Hey, Governor.
Hello, Governor. It's actually, hello, Governor. Yeah, go ahead.
I think what the Republicans need to do is put her in the rearview mirror, drive forward, and tell America what they're going to do to straighten all this crap out.
Say that one more time. You think what needs to be done again? Say that one more time real fast. To say it again real quick. What needs to be done?
Okay. Put her in the rearview mirror.
Yes.
Okay.
America. And then straighten this country.
Kamala.
Yeah. Cackling Kamala needs to be put in the rearview mirror. I got you.
Right. And then as we're moving forward, just tell the country what we're going to do to get this place back in order.
Sounds good to me, my brother. I appreciate your call.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks for all your work.
Thank you for your call tonight. I appreciate it. Keep it up. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Yvette in Frisco, welcome to WBAP.
Hi, Chris. Thank you. I'm a fan. I don't know that I agree with you.
That's okay.
50% of the time.
But it makes me...
like a train wreck. You can't stop looking at you, though.
That's all I've ever wanted to be. I'm being very serious. I don't care if you agree with me or disagree with me, or if you hate me or love me, or if you're laughing, you laugh at me. As long as you keep looking at me, all I want is attention. That's the truth. That's why I do this job.
That sounds great.
Thank you.
I'm an African-American professional, and I want to commend you on your stance of don't go after the DEI, because you are dead right. It's going to make African-Americans, especially professionals who worked hard to get where they are, very upset, even if they don't like her. Same thing happened with Obama. People kind of flocked because they didn't like the criticism and just those jabs going on. So I think there's enough of a do-nothing record in this administration and her as board czar to go after without talking about race or gender.
This is incredible because it's very important to hear from you, and I mean that. Because what does it feel like? You're okay. You are not putting your position because of DEI. You're a professional, and do you think that it's true that she's a DEI hire, even though it's offensive?
I see why people are saying it, because he said, I'm going to pick a black woman. But I mean,
it's terrible to say that, and then you get the job, and then you're like, everybody's like, you got the job because of your race, versus just saying, I'm going to hire the best one, right?
Sure. But I mean, we could also say, since time immemorial, people have not said, but they had in their heads, I'm going to get a white man. But I mean,
but and you're very much against Kamala and Biden, it sounds like, and very much for Trump. Is that accurate?
That's accurate.
Okay, so everybody needs to hear this. This is offensive to you, and as a professional, and that's an African American professional. That's very, very, very important that everybody hears. You are critical tonight. I'm serious, because when I saw one of the two Republicans, it was a congressman, I don't know what he was, in the halls of Congress, and he said that it was ugly to me. It felt ugly. He's like, you're an absolute moron. You're the reason why we don't win elections.
Well, yeah, and especially after the convention that I've wanted to see for decades. I've been telling all my friends, you got to reach out. You're not going to win this demographic race. You got to bring people in. And why is that not happening? And the convention Monday night was beautiful. There's lots of different people there finally. And, yeah, they don't need to go backwards doing this. Actually, there was a blurb that came out that said someone told them not to go after her for this, on race and gender. And I think I guess I didn't see these people do it, but it's not surprising that somebody did.
All right, so they're just idiots and need to be excoriated behind the scenes and publicly too. Sure. What do you? How do you feel personally about this whole situation with her? Do you think that, because supposedly African Americans are going to gravitate towards her, we're told by the left media, do you think that's true, or do you think it's going to be, is it going to be more than Biden, you think, African American vote, if you had to guess?
I don't know. At her first go around, there was a lot of the men weren't on board. A lot of people weren't on board, given her criminal justice stance in California.
Yes.
So again, that's going to be another. Did all that get washed away and it's forgotten and no talk about it? And so I don't know.
What do you think about this? Charlemagne the God is now endorsing her. I think that I don't think that means much of anything.
Well, he's got a following. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but he's got a following. So I don't know.
Okay, I appreciate your call. Please keep it up, Yvette. I really do appreciate you.
All right, take care. I'll be watching the train.
Yes, Juju. That was very sweet of you to say those kind words at the beginning. Take care. Hugs from down here at downtown. Appreciate you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Let's go. We got to go to Brooke in Frisco next. My producer, Garrett, too, was panicking, thinking I was going to go to Brooke in Frisco. Then we'd be going till what? Brooke, you're the first person out of the box next. Plus your call at 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. I have a brand new Border Czar montage that I can play for you next. You've never heard on this program, and probably no programs ever, because I'm sly like that. I dig like that. Watch the train wreck. It continues next on the Chris Crock Show. I used to call my show when I was in Austin, making $8 an hour as a morning show on Austin Music Network, like a radio show on TV, in 1998. I called it the Crippled Goat. We were the crippled goat. We had no resources. We had nothing. We're like a three-legged goat, crippled, and we're just crawling in the dirt, moving inch by inch, going, "Meh, meh." We're hungry and we're thirsty. We're a crippled goat. We're just trying to get by. That's the show, the Crippled Goat. And to this day, I honestly say I'm still the crippled goat, and that's okay. This is the Crippled Goat, the train wreck, the Chris Crock Show.
She was put in charge of the border.
Nope. She was put in charge of reaching out to the South and Central American countries to stem the immigration.
She wasn't the border czar.
She was not actually the border czar.
She is not the border czar.
She was never border czar.
She was not the border czar.
Let's be very clear. There was no border czar.
President Biden put his vice president, Kamala Harris, in charge of one of his administration's growing challenges. She is now the point person on immigration.
Vice President Harris is now the Biden administration's point person
to oversee his administration's efforts to stem the flow of migrants.
Kamala Harris, the point person on immigration.
The point person in the effort to stop the flow of migrants.
Kamala Harris will lead the response to the border challenge.
Kamala Harris to lead the White House efforts to tackle migration challenges at the U.S.-Mexico border.
To take the lead on overseeing all of these efforts at the border.
Putting his vice president, Kamala Harris, in charge of this.
Her first big portfolio item.
To oversee solutions.
I have confidence that she's going to do a good job in this role. I think President Biden made a good decision, a wise move.
There you go. That's, what's his name? What are the socialist brothers from San Antonio? What are their names? The brothers something. I can't remember their names. One's a congressman. One was the mayor of San Antonio. Anyways, it'll come to me. One of them was the Obama guy for HUD, or Housing and Urban Development. Anyway, Castro, the brothers Castro, Joaquin Castro, and the other one. Okay, czar is, quote, the definition, any person exercising great authority or power in a particular field, a czar of industry. Yes, as in the point person on the border, leading immigration, has all the fake news. MSNBC, even Joy Reid, CNN, and then, of course, one of the brothers, Castro, Joaquin. Okay, Hakeem Jeffries, the leader of the Democrats in the House, says Republicans are, quote, making up cackling Kamala's border czar title. We have a single legislative item that's on the floor today. It's fake and fraudulent, cooked up by one of the representatives from New York, who blah 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 embarrasses herself regularly. It was the there was a House resolution that passed to rebuke the Biden's administration to on immigration, and if it actually had I think 10 Democrats vote for it too, 5-10. By the way, 250,000 illegals arrested at the border December 2023, an all-time high ever. And that's her border czar work. 3 years into it. Good job, Kamala. 3 years in it. 3.5 years in it. Good job, Kamala. You're doing great. You and Joe are doing great. Brooke in Frisco. Hello. What do you got on WBAP?
Hi. Yeah, so I specifically remember them announcing on the news that she was going to be in charge of the border. Right. So is that in question? Because it sounded like you were asking if that was...
Yeah, I was asking, what makes you think she's the border czar, that she was made the border czar? Why do you think the media and Democrats are completely gaslighting us on this? And, what would lead the people to think the same thing that the media is doing that on Joe Biden's cognitive impairment? Because, of course, we all know that all that's true, right?
Yeah, they did officially announce it but she never did anything, of course.
No, she didn't.
Claiming that
she didn't. She cackled. Yeah. And what came out just this week was that a report that the streets were cleared, the illegals were rounded up. This just came out. Border Patrol officials said that they rounded up the illegals and removed them for her, so she didn't see one. She did not see one illegal. Right. Not one. And she didn't go at the border where there were illegals are coming over. She didn't go to Juarez, or not Sierra Juarez. She didn't go to Del Rio. She didn't go to Eagle Pass, all the hot spots. She didn't go to any of them. She went 5 miles away from the border at some facility.
Yeah. She always laughs when she doesn't want to answer.
Yes. Exactamente sí, our Spanish-speaking friends would say. Thank you for your call, Brooke and Frisco. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, coming up next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. Secret Service failure on the assassination attempt at Trump. You are going to hear stuff about local police refusing to share information with the FBI because they don't trust them because of the leftist, Trump-hating, disgusting stuff coming out of the FBI, rigging everything. And I believe the Secret Service is the same way. We're going to talk about that and why police and local police don't trust the FBI and other federal agents. That's a brand new report that came out today. It's shocking and sad. And why would you trust the FBI and Secret Service to protect Trump, the Republicans, or you? Next on the Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 92.3.